Today I want to share with you an amazing archaeological find that has some really cool implications for Christianity, and it was just put on display at the Museum of the Bible. Let's get into it. And I want to give one disclaimer up front. I am not getting paid by anyone affiliated with this archaeological discovery or the Museum of the Bible. I just think this is really cool. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about the Megiddo mosaic, which is an ancient mosaic floor that dates to around 230 AD. It was discovered in 2005 during a prison expansion, and it will be on display at the Museum of the Bible September 15th, 2024 to July 6th, 2025. So it's a mosaic-styled floor that would have served as a room for Christian worship in the 200s AD. In the room, there's a table as the centerpiece, which is dedicated to worship. There's some really cool symbols and inscriptions as well that we're going to get into. And I'm going to tell you now, you're going to want to stick around for the last inscription. So some of you might be asking, what is a mosaic? According to an article from the Museum of the Bible, a mosaic is an artistic style where small pieces of colored stone and glass, called tesserae, are arranged to form scenes of nature, weave together geometric patterns, or create inscriptions. Mosaic decorations in archaeological digs are quite common right before, during, and after the time of the New Testament. In fact, sites dated to the Roman period will often be full of mosaic decorations, just like this one, which was found at a Roman army camp. The next big question might be, how do we know this room was dedicated to worship? The placement of the table as the focal point and centerpiece of the room, with the decorative floor surrounding it, leads archaeologists to believe that the room was specifically dedicated for worship. The word used for table dedicated to Jesus in the inscription is also the same Greek word found in 1 Corinthians 10:21, where it refers to the table of the Lord, which seems to be an obvious reference to the Eucharist or the Lord's Supper. Now it's time to talk about the symbolism and the inscriptions found in the mosaic. And again, you're going to want to stick around for the last one. There is one crucial symbol in the mosaic, which is the fish medallion. The fish was the earliest symbol for Christianity, used before the cross became the popular symbol after Constantine's Edict of Milan. This is because the Greek word for fish, ichthus, is an acronym for Jesus Christ, God's Son, Savior. It also echoes the miracle where Jesus fed the 5,000 with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. So that's about it for the symbolism in the Megiddo mosaic. Now it's time to get into the inscriptions. The first line says, Gaius, also called Porphyrius Centurion, our brother, has made the mosaic at his own expense, as an act of generosity. So interestingly enough, Gaius is a Greek name, and they called him their brother. This means that this was an early Greek convert to Christianity, and he was the one who paid for the mosaic to be made. The next line is really interesting. It says, Remember Primilia, and Syriaca, and Dorothea, and lastly, Cresty. The interesting thing about this is that all 4 of these names are female names, meaning that within this early Christian community, there were 4 prominent women. However, we don't know why they were considered prominent because it doesn't say. One of the inscriptions also say, Brutius has carried out the work. So Brutius appears to be the artist that made the mosaic itself. Good job, Brutius. Now, here's the inscription we've all been waiting for, and it's the reason I'm making this video. There's an inscription by the table that says, the God-loving Akeptos has offered the table to God, Jesus Christ, as a memorial. I know, Christians were worshiping Jesus as God before the Council of Nicaea, and this is archaeological proof. This is currently the earliest archaeological evidence for Jesus being worshipped as God. Oneness Pentecostals, Jehovah's Witnesses, and other Unitarians often say that Emperor Constantine and other pagans invented the doctrine of the Trinity in the 4th century at the Council of Nicaea, after Christianity had become a protected class under Constantine's rule. However, the inscription for the table being dedicated to God Jesus absolutely shatters this mistaken idea. This is irrefutable proof that Jesus was being honored and worshipped as God by Christians before Constantine even took his first breath. It also allows us to get a look into how Christians within the earliest days of the church worshipped. We can see that the table is the centerpiece of the room, revealing the centrality of the Lord's Supper in their minds. It's also one of the earliest archaeological evidences for the fish being used as a symbol and acronym for the role of Jesus within the minds of his followers. So, yeah, The Megiddo mosaic, it's a big deal. And again, it's going to be on display at the Museum of the Bible through July 6th of 2025. So make sure you make it out to there before then if you're interested in this kind of stuff. I'm going to put a bunch of articles below for you to read and check out about the mosaic itself if you're interested. And, do all the YouTube stuff, like, comment, share, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching The Epitome. I'm your host, Nathan Bozeman. We'll see you around.